Hello all you heroes and ghouls, and welcome to my reaction to the Nintendo Treehouse presentation that was just done today regarding the Pikmin 3 remaster and Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I have got a lot to get through and not a whole lot of time to get through it, but I've got my notes. We'll go ahead and just kind of go down things here in order as I made my little notations while watching the observation. I'm pretty darn excited here with Pikmin 3. I do want to go ahead and lay the ground, just the background information right now that while I'm familiar with Pikmin 2 and 3, I never actually played those ones. I've only played the original Pikmin, even though I do love Pikmin in general as a concept. I love the first game. I've seen, gameplay of the second and third. If some of the observations that I make are incorrect, know that that's where it's coming from. But with the new Pikmin 3 remaster coming on Switch, the lock-on, I know for sure that wasn't in the first Pikmin. I'm not sure if it was in Pikmin 3 originally, but lock-on and being able to cycle through different things within a tight area for lock-on is a huge gameplay improvement, just general light, not cost of living. Oh my god, what's the phrase? I'm trying to get through things so fast, and oh god, it's so hot right now that I can't freaking think of the phrasing. Basic life improvement there. Two-player co-op has not happened. I know that, and even though ever since the second game you've had multiple characters to play as, you always cycle between them, and you still cycle between them here, but you have the option of two-player co-op with it, someone else to just pick it up and run and do things together. That is huge and will supremely cut down on times and coordinations for different days and missions. Absolutely. The Piclopedia is returning from the second game, I believe, because I do think it was gone from the third. The fact that all enemies have not just one entry in this encyclopedia, but a different entry for every single character that's a great attention to detail, great care for the characters, and really gives the whole thing a lot more personality. I love that. The fact that we're now getting Olimar and Louis side missions, and they're not just the same thing as the main storyline, but like actual challenges, collect X amount of treasure in this time span, that's all really freaking cool. We know that there are absolutely going to be harder difficulties, which is a big thing for a lot of people oh my god, my glasses are so disgusting, which is a huge thing for so many people who've played Pikmin to death and know how to optimize everything and just go through their routes as quickly as possible. I am still unsure as to how the difficulty is being ramped up, if it's just enemies take more hits or are more aggressive. I'm not sure how well that'll go over, as well as but if they change enemy placement or have more difficult enemies earlier, I think that would be good. What we do know is the hardest difficulty, ultra spicy. The only thing we really heard about that was that they only allow you to have 60 Pikmin on the stage at once. As far as fighting enemies go, that's not really that much of a restriction at all. But as far as multitasking for getting around the map and collecting items, that restricts things to make it go slower, but on its own, that's not really that big of a deal, in my opinion. see what other ways it actually is made more difficult. But the biggest change with Pikmin 3 Remaster that has got me really excited, even though I'm not a multiplayer person, I almost never do multiplayer anything, is the bingo battle, and this just feels really cool. It's one-on-one competitive mode to collect items and enemies, bring back to your ship in Onion, to fill out a bingo card. Both players get the same items for a bingo card, but they're in different spots on their bingo card. First one to get a whole line across is the winner, and that's just really cool. I like it. That's funny. It's fun concept. You're on the same map, but start at different locations, and you can get into fights with each other, try to to interfere with your pathing for your opponent. You can get power-up items to change how the game goes, like make rocks fall on the opponent, or get a bomb rock to blast something big on your side, which is really cool. I don't know if it's local only or if there is an online component to it, because they were definitely playing local for sure. They're doing split screen for their demonstration, but they didn't specify any other details from there. So I'm hoping that online is an option. But that's all my notes for the Pikmin 3 Remaster. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping I can afford it with everything going on. It'll be really cool. But on to Age of Calamity, which I am much more excited for, just on the basis of being such a huge Zelda fanatic. And I've got a lot more notes here. So we know that all characters will use Sheikah Slate runes to some extent. They all have access to it. And they all have access to the elemental rod, so the ice rod, fire rod, lightning rod, which is, just like in Hyrule Warriors, everyone had access to bombs, hookshot, etc., which is nifty. The runes, it looks like they kind of really focused on, are made for opening up enemies to reveal weaknesses, as well as just applying things across the board to be a much more devastating experience. And everyone's got a cooldown timer, which makes sense. They're also, keeping things in the spirit of Breath of the Wild, and also just being able to spam something like stasis would be ridiculous. The first character that we got to see really being used was Urbosa, and she was, had a fairly unique flair to her in that she had a charge meter that, as it went further up, unlocked lightning abilities for her, and just lightning in basic attacks, which was really nifty. Where previously in the previous Hyrule Warriors, the charge meter was the same for everybody, in that you just filled it up until a bar was full, and then you could unleash a super special attack, which is still a thing for the characters. It looks like Urbosa for Link, and for everyone, but Urbosa's is also unique in that it is the charge for her lightning. Really neat. There's still Koroks that you can find to collect Korok seeds on the maps. For what purpose? I'm not sure what that would really lead towards for a Warriors style game. So, big shrug there. To me, that feels like something they just kind of put in because it's such a huge thing in Breath of the Wild, but I sincerely don't know how they're fitting it here. The ladies who are demonstrating for us did drop a statement that we're going to see a lot more of the relationships and history between the champions and other characters, and they hinted that Urbosa actually had some kind of strong relationship with Zelda's mother, the late queen, which is, I'm definitely excited to see where that goes, for sure. Honestly, the lore, background, and story is the biggest reason why I'm so excited for this game. So yes. We got to see some gameplay from Zelda, where everyone has access to the runes in general. Zelda's entire moveset is based on the Sheikah Slate runes. And that's really the only way I could imagine this Zelda fighting anyway, since she hasn't unlocked her powers until the very end of the actual Calamity itself. And then we get to see one of her like big special attacks, using the photography rune and taking a picture of enemies as they're being devastated, which I thought was really funny. Just got a real good chuckle out of me. And in the Gerudo Desert, which we got to see Gerudo Town, and extend that out to the Gerudo Desert, the big attacks that cause a lot of sound, a lot of vibration, summon the Molduga, which was awesome. I love that. Oh man. And just like for the first Hyrule Warriors, collecting materials from enemies and throughout the stages. Previously, all they were used for was to upgrade your weapons, and it got to a ludicrously grindy level of needing to do so. Just absolutely indefensibly grindy. But for this, they were showing that, you know, we get to see the Breath of the Wild map to go to different locations, stages, and little mini challenges. And the materials are used for the map to unlock stages, power up weapons, like so you collect actual weapons from the stages as well. Wow, my hair is not cooperating right now. But that's fine. Take those weapons to fuse them into them to power them up. It's going, you know, the Breath of the Wild route where there's all these different kinds of weapons, but they just kind of stuck them under a couple different styles: one-hand sword, two-hand sword, and this is all for Link. It looks like Link exclusively. Everyone else fights with their own very specific style. But yeah, the materials to power up the weapons, make food, which you can take at the beginning of a stage to get a different kind of power up. And they gave us the note later on. Different every character reacts to every food differently, which is just one of those little things that, like, it's a lot more work putting all those extra little flourishes in than they needed to, but it adds so much character and personality, and I love that. That's just great. We'll get to see so much more about, all these characters who are, dead in Breath of the Wild. The materials are also used to get new combos and move sets, and they're showing how, like, all of these things are linked to, like, creating more lore bits and world building in mind. Like, all of these things are made with world building in mind. They're saying a new two-handed sword combo that comes from, getting materials, where Link goes to Hateno Village to build a practice dummy for a child. And, like, that's just so sweet and so wonderful. It's even more sweet and wonderful when you know that Link came from Hateno Village, and that was his home before he joined the Hyrule Royal Guard. We got to see Impa fighting. Yes, I love it. So ninja-like, hopping around with all the needle slashes and like quick teleportation. Boom, boom, boom. Very much ninja jutsu integrated. We got, like, Bushin no Jutsu, with being able to create clones of herself that help in the fight, energy constructs. A moment where we get to see her summon a giant toad. Just, the classic ninja, the tale of Jiraiya the Sage. Something that I also noticed was that, there's the baby guardian, the little egg that we've all latched onto and still don't really know anything about, and I want to know more about it, is like it's running around the stage while you're fighting, just kind of being there, running around doing stuff, and I still don't really know what the deal is there, but just the fact that it's running around being all cute is great, and I wanted to point that out, that I noticed it, and I think it's awesome. Like I said, I'm excited. I'm waiting for it. I want more. I can't wait. I wish that we could have seen more gameplay of other champions, other characters, but you know, I can be patient and wait for that. I am also really excited to see more of the non-fighting gameplay, the stuff between the stages, to see how that all goes through and works out, because the way they have it set up that they've shown so far is really neat, and I like it. But I am running out of time, so thank you all so much for watching. I will, continue to do these reactions as things come out and provide you with my take on various gaming news that interests me. So, have a fantastic rest of your day, and of course, I can't let all of you go without ourselves a great big hell yeah!